Well, what do you know? It looks like the Man of Steel just found his kryptonite. It's called reality. Because apparently, when you give good people the option to watch James Gunn's Superman for free, or if you have a subscription on HBO Max, they still say, nah, I'm good. I mean, who could have seen that coming? Oh, yeah, that's right. Literally anyone who's been paying attention. In fact, Superman streaming ratings worse than Captain America and Black Adam in first 3 days, but outpaces competition in daily average viewership. Yeah, the hierarchy of the DC universe did change. It just changed into a dumpster fire. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd, where sarcasm flies higher than Gunn's marketing budget and logic crashes faster than DC's stock price. If you're new here, stick around, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and ring the bell, because today we're diving into some absolutely delicious data that confirms what we've been saying all along. James Gunn's revolutionary Superman didn't fly. It tripped, face planted, and somehow lost to Black Adam. All right, let's talk some numbers here, because unlike Warner Brothers PR, numbers don't lie. According to Nielsen, this is via Comic Book News and ThatParkPlace.com, check them both out, Superman pulled in 513 million minutes of viewing over its first 3 days over on HBO Max. Now, it sounds decent until you realize it finished in fourth place. Not bronze, not silver, not gold. Fourth. That's the thanks for showing up ribbon of streaming. It ranked number 4 on the movies chart, but failed to even crack Nielsen's overall top 10. Meaning K-pop Demon Hunters and Ice Road Vengeance were literally more popular. So yes, when audiences could watch the new era of DC for free, they collectively shrugged and said, yeah, we'll pass. Now, before the Gunn Defense Force revs up in the comments, but 513 million minutes, that's still a lot. Sure, Jan. Let's put that into context. Captain America Brave New World, a movie that the internet dragged as a flop, did 750 million minutes in 4 days. Even averaged out, Cap pulled 187 million minutes per day, while Superman managed 171 million. Even Thunderbolts, yes, the Marvel team-up movie nobody asked for, hit 702 million minutes in 5 days. That's about 140 million a day. And that's with one of those days being a Tuesday. Superman debuted on a Friday. You know, when everyone's home, ready to stream. So Nielsen's 3-day window was probably at its peak, not its average. Once Monday hit, those numbers literally fell faster than the Flash's second week drop. But the real kryptonite here, it's Black Adam. Remember that movie Gunn mocked as the end of the old regime? The one that supposedly killed the DCEU? Yeah, that one. Nielsen reported that Black Adam pulled in 632 million minutes in its first 3 days on HBO Max. Let me repeat that one more time for you guys in the back. 632 million versus Superman's 513 million. That's 100 million plus more minute breakdown from a movie with worse press, no China release, and a lead actor who literally walked away from the studio. The Rock said, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. Turns out, he was right, because James Gunn just made Black Adam look like the Dark Knight. Now, this isn't just about one flop, it's a pattern. Gunn's Creature Commandos didn't even chart on Nielsen. Peacemaker Season 2 lost 40% of its audience despite riding Superman's coattails. And yeah, it's effectively dead. And now Superman, the foundation of the new DCU, is being outperformed by Marvel's rejects and the regime Gunn fired. This man took over DC promising to quote unquote save the brand, and has instead managed to outflop the very movies he's mocked. The only consistent thing about James Gunn's DCU is failure. And here's where the spin kicks in. Warner Brothers proudly declared Superman is HBO Max's biggest debut since Barbie. Notice the phrasing here? Since Barbie, not bigger than Barbie. That's classic PR sorcery. It's like saying, this meal is our best since Thanksgiving, while you're eating at Arby's. The truth here? Well, Nielsen's hard data confirms it. Superman isn't breaking records, it's breaking expectations in the wrong direction. And let's not forget that theatrical run. $615 million worldwide at the box office sounds pretty respectable. That is until you factor in, and I'm using their numbers, $225 million budget, and somewhere between $125 and $180 million for marketing. That means Superman, and again, I'm using their numbers, needed around $700 million just to break even. Well, spoiler, it didn't. So now we made a movie that flopped in theaters and on streaming. That's the rare double feature of failure. Meanwhile, Gunn's still out here greenlighting Man of Tomorrow, which apparently is as much a Lex Luthor movie as a Superman movie. Because Gunn finds Lex more relatable. Buddy, James, if the villain is more relatable than your hero, you may have written the wrong movie. Now, while this mess unfolds, the Batman Part 2 gets delayed, the Penguin sits in limbo, and yet the one franchise that actually worked, Matt Reeves' Batman, is being sidelined for another Gunn project that audiences clearly don't care about. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers, well, they quietly scheduled the Minecraft sequel 2 weeks ahead of Man of Tomorrow's release. That's not a strategy. That's an escape plan. Here's the reality. Gunn threw out everything that came before him, Cavill, Snyder, the old continuity, to build his better DCU. So far, his legacy includes a Superman film that lost money, a spin-off that lost viewers, an animated series no one watched, and a streaming debut that lost to Black Adam. Meanwhile, the Batman made $770 million. The Joker, I'm talking about the first one, not the sequel, broke $1 billion. Both of those were outside Gunn's control. See the pattern here starting to take shape? Now look, if you like Gunn Superman, good for you. But the data is the data, and the numbers don't lie. 513 million minutes, no top 10 debut, outperformed by Marvel's flops and The Rock's supposed disaster. At what point does Warner Brothers admit the problem isn't the audience or superhero fatigue? It's the guy steering the ship. Because when people would rather watch Black Adam punch demons than Superman save the world, that's not just bad marketing. That's a crisis of faith. But hey, what do I know? I'm just looking at and reading the numbers. The one Warner Brothers hope you won't. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are you surprised Superman's streaming numbers tanked? Or did you see this coming from a mile away? Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell because unlike Gunn Superman, this channel, well, at least not yet, but hopefully charts in the top 10. So stay nerdy, stay critical, and remember, the numbers don't lie, even when the marketing does. Critical Nerd, out.